So when Breath of the Wild released, it's fair to say it had some good reviews. It's currently sitting at a 97 on Metacritic with an 8.7 user score. Now, that's amazing, bruh, especially for a franchise as old as Zelda. So this video's more so about the test of time. Is it still everything people were saying it was back then? And does it still live up to the hype? After numerous replays, is the game still as good as everyone said it was in 2017? Let's get into it. So I won't go through my own 2017 opinions about the game because I don't remember them, but two of the most popular gaming sites to my knowledge are IGN and GameStop, so I'll focus on what they said. So I'm gonna go over the points, the bullet points that GameSpot posts, because if you read through them, they're very similar to what IGN said. So GameStop said it was a beautiful and romantic open world. It's packed with a wide variety of perplexing puzzles, goofy yet surprisingly human NPCs, a delicate soundtrack that expertly punctuates the world's many moods, demanding combat system, survival mechanics that make basic exploration feel wholly rewarding, a wealth of mysteries and discoveries that last well beyond the main quest, and for the bad, they said occasional frame rate issues, whereas IGN had issues with some of the motion puzzles. So I'm going to go over each point and give it my 2022 opinion on them, and if the statement still holds true. You know what I'm saying? So let's start with a beautiful and romantic open world. Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with this, bro. I replayed this game over 20 times, and every time I do, I end up taking hundreds of screenshots. It's definitely a beautiful game. I mean, just look at it. Like the art style and the colors, they do a great job of making the environments look amazing. From hanging out in Zora's Domain to scaling Death Mountain to the very beginning of the game, you get to see the beauty of the open world. So this definitely holds up. It's still a very beautiful game all these years later. Yeah, I'll definitely give credit to the puzzles in the game. After playing for this long, you'd think I'd have mastered them all, but I haven't. Like, there's points in the Divine Beast that I always end up confused on, when I go in. And sure, I know what to do because I really should, but I don't. I think one of the best aspects of this is realizing there's multiple ways to solve a puzzle situation if you get creative. And after playing and watching videos of other players online, I would notice the way they solved something was vastly different than what I did. And for me, it helped each playthrough have a freshness to it and kept it fun. Because even on my current playthrough right now, I'm doing things differently when I'm like, whoa, I didn't know I could do that. So yeah. Now, I see where this point comes from. The NPCs, they do help the world vibe a certain way, and they help genuinely build up the history of what's around you through them. I don't know if I would have mentioned it in 2017, but in 2022, I think I would, because you have your Boston construction company, your Finley with the letter in the bottle, your Muzu who wanted to slap you every time I played. Even the little moments with these characters made an impact that I still think of from time to time. So yeah, I can get behind this. I had to think about this one, and I just erased what I wrote to say this. The music in the game is beautifully crafted. I have the soundtrack in my phone and I listen to it in the car sometimes, on low. Now, I can see people not liking, how the music is utilized in the overworld, but for me, it really did feel at home with the way the game is being presented to the player, so I do agree. I think Zelda fans just have an issue with trying to compare, well, it's not an issue, but comparing how the music was used in one game to this game, and I think when you really get down to it, this game plays a lot differently than other games, and I think the sound design in itself in this game is vastly superior to any other Zelda game as well. So the way the music is implemented really works for me. And then when you go into the towns, like you're out of the overworld, everything does have its classic Zelda theme, and the music's beautiful. My favorite is the Gerudo village at night. I think that song is beautiful. I'm not sure if demanding is the correct word, but I will say the combat is very varied. You know, I'm playing again right now, and I pick up new combat techniques as I play. You know, I still go into battle and I choose my weapons wisely, and also take note of my surroundings and how I can use that to my advantage. You know, I look out for any type of elevation to leap off of to go into bullet time, and I choose what I do based on the size of the enemies too. You know, I think I've kind of mastered the combat to the point where, you know, it's not a cakewalk, but I have a great free flow like the Arkham games, like using a razor boomerang, you know, trying to pull off a slick combat move. It doesn't feel like a slick combat move anymore. It just feels like a reward for getting to know, you know, such a robust combat system. The weapons breaking still doesn't bother me and makes me more aware of what actually I want to choose to fight with. So yeah, the combat is amazing. The system is amazing. And you can really put it to the test and master the sword, so good luck, bruh. Alright, this is 100% accurate. On my newest current playthrough, you know, I didn't start any divine missions yet, and I'm at 45 hours in. Like, just living in the world, plotting where I'm gonna go, and preparing for whatever I might run into was a lot of fun, bro. Like, being aware of stuff like the weather and the materials around me really help make the world feel like recognized and full. You know, the cooking system, it never gets old either, and I'm still learning new things out about it. Hiding out from the rain or using it to my advantage in combat situations is always a plus, or knocking down a tree and using stasis on it so I can use it as a ramp is such a big help. But you know, it has become like a natural part of my gameplay, especially after all these playthroughs, so this definitely holds up. So for this, obviously the discoveries and the mysteries will become less and less the more you play through the game, yet somehow, you know, I'm still discovering things. The way the lore is really built into the world, it always leaves rooms for mysteries. You know, I can still walk through something and wonder about, you know, what does it really mean? Like, you know, like the heroine statues with, you know, the one that's away from the others. You know, I think that with the new game on the horizon, the mysteries mean even more to me than before. So this definitely carries more weight in my opinion. Alright, so now let's get to the bad. GameSpot says the occasional frame rate issues, while IGN says some of the motion controls or the motion puzzles don't feel quite as sharp. So as far as the frame rate issues, I can't say I see a problem outside of Korok Forest. I've seen plenty of people complain about the rainforest, but personally it's always been fine to me. But yeah, the Korok Forest can get a little bit spooky, bro. Like, not when you're engaging in any puzzles or anything but the main area. You know, it can dip noticeably low, and that's something to point out, but thankfully it's not anything that hurts the experience when it matters. Like, every time I play through the game, the frame rate dips hard in this area, so that's valid, even though it doesn't take points off of the game for me. So the motion control puzzles was something I agreed with more in 2017 than I do now. You know, I remember there was one puzzle that I was trying to do in handheld mode early on, and it was horrible. Like, so I tried taking out the Joy-Con that tracks you, and it didn't work because I didn't have to remove them both, and it was a headache because I was at work. So, however, it was not a problem on the next playthrough, and I'm currently playing the game again now, and I didn't even remember I had issues until I went to make this video. So I don't know if it was me or if it was the game, or maybe I was just new to the Switch because it was a launch title and I just got the Switch. You know, so I can, however, say that I do really love the motion controls in the game. So much so that I refuse to play without them. Like, I don't buy any Switch controller without gyro purely for this game. And y'all see all my controller reveal videos I got. You know what I mean? Shooting arrows and throwing things, it feels perfect. And yeah, I kind of refuse to play differently now. I feel like they were tastefully implemented, and that the game has a perfect balance, you know, with them, which is why I guess I've never really seen like a real person actually complain about them. So yeah, I have to say, I feel like the game held up extremely well. And I'd go as far as to say as I enjoy it more now as a veteran player than I did in 2017. You know, once I became even more familiar with Hyrule, it made the game even more fun. You know, I've never replayed the game for a video or anything other than I just really wanted to play the game. You know, I'd see videos on YouTube about somebody talking about it and just feel the urge to pick it up and play it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, my verdict is The game holds up perfectly well, and that's all you could really ask for, man. That's how you know it's a classic. So what do you think? You think the game held up, or do you play it now in disgust? Ugh. So let me know in them comments, bruh. Thank y'all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. You know what I'm saying? I'll catch y'all on the next one, alright? Peace.